Hey guys, Dave Ray here, DB Restorations. How we all doing today? I'm working on our 98 Dodge Charger here. I'll show you. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling the grill assembly out of there. And I had a lot of questions on the YouTube channel and on our website and stuff about wanting to see a video on how to remove the grill assembly out of the Dodge Charger. So 68 and 69 basically the same grill, other than 69 has a divider down the middle, of course. So where I started at with this here is you want to pull your valance, your bumper, to access all the fasteners on the grill assembly itself. So to remove the valance, you got to start with the bumper guards. So I pulled the bumper guards off. There's one bolt in the bottom in the dog bone, and I'll show you when we get over to the bumper assembly. After I remove the bumper guards, I remove this splash shield here, and then after removing the splash shield, I go ahead and remove the parking light because it makes it easier to access the bolts on the front valance. So let's go on over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's our front valance, and here's that splash guard I was telling you about. So this basically mounts like in your front fender well. So it has two fasteners right here that connect to the bottom of the valance. And you can see the slot here on the left. That's where your bumper bracket will actually be, your bumper support. And then you have three bolts on the top. So once you remove those, you can remove this piece and it'll allow you to access the bolts for the front valance. I pull the parking light out. So after I take the splash guard off, I disconnect the marker light off the fender, and then I disconnect the parking lamp because I'm gonna disassemble the entire car. But if you're just doing the grill, you don't have to worry about that. But I would remove the parking lamp because it's easier to get to these fasteners. And so you got these two here on the sides. You got one right here in the front. And then, of course, you just got three Phillips head screws on your parking lamps. So once you get all those there out, you can go ahead and pull the rest of the bolts out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 down there, and then 2 in your latch support, and then the 3 on each side in this valance will go ahead and come out once the bumper guards are off, because if you don't, the bumper guards are kind of wrapped around it and screwed into the dog bone. So if you look at the bumper assembly here, I'll show you. This is what they call the dog bone, is this piece right here, because it's kind of shaped like a dog bone. But your bumper guards bolt to the bottom of that through your valance and then hook to the front of the bumper. So you got to remove a nut out of your bumper from the inside and then remove these two bolts on the bottom, and those bumper guards will come off. Then once that's all done, you can see under here there's an L bracket on this bumper. So it's on each side. So when you're up underneath of the car, removing that valance, if you look right up underneath of here, you can see this bolt right here. So go ahead and pull that out while you're underneath of there. And then that'll save you a little step of getting that bumper out. Then other than that, you just take your two bolts off the side of the bumper here on each side, and then you can pull this whole thing out as an assembly. I mean, you can leave your dog bone on there, your license plate bracket, and everything else. So once you get that bumper out of there, then you're free to access all of your bolts and everything for the grill, which you can see underneath of here, there are screws, and they have insulators, like plastic insulators on each side. And what that does is it keeps it from compressing that grill into a small area and allowing it to crack. So you can see this is a beautiful original grill. It's got a few cracks. I got one up here, if you can see that, and then one down a little bit further. But we're going to go ahead and just restore this original grill because it's just in beautiful condition. So now if you wanted to pull just your grill assembly out, you can go through and start undoing those fasteners, and then you got to take a lot of the guts out on the inside to release your doors and everything else. I find it easier to remove the whole thing as an assembly, and I'll show you how to do that. That's what I'm going to do on this car, and I would normally do it just to change the grill anyway, because you're this far, you might as well pull the whole thing out, repaint all your upper frame and everything else, and go through, check your wiring, your hoses, and it's really easy to put the entire assembly up on a stand and go through it piece by piece. So I'll show you the easy way to get that out. There's L brackets on each corner of the fenders there. You can kind of see it's red. It's got 4 bolts right here. So you want to remove those out of there on each side there. And then on the top, all you have is these 7/16 bolts here on each side. These right here. And then on the inside of your fender well on each side, you're going to have 2 studs sticking through. You can see them right there. I pulled the nuts off already on each side. And once you undo all that there, this whole thing will come out in one assembly. And of course, you want to make sure that you undo your ground wire here off of the radiator support, and then undo all your hoses. These are all pretty well rotted off. And then undo your wiring harness. So your wiring harness is split right here. You undo the clip, pull it back through, because you don't want to get this thing halfway out and then find out you're hung up on something, and then you're scrambling to get it off there without dropping it. So take your time, doing that. But let's go ahead and remove those fasteners, and we'll get this baby out and get it over here on the stand. So just hold tight just a sec. Okay, and that's it, man. She's out. Now, the thing is I forgot to tell you, is there's two bolts right here on the bottom of the latch support on here. So I missed that one to show you. But yeah, you pulled 2 bolts out of there. So if you kind of go through, you can see here's your 2 that were in your fender well on the inside. Here's your little L brackets. I ended up, you're better off taking this thing completely off because it will hang up when you're trying to slide it out. It likes to catch. You can see where it's bolted right here. It likes to catch on all these goodies here as you're trying to pull it out. So I undid them all so it'll spin out flat, and then it just comes right out. And there's your 2 holes that it was in before. So really easy to pull that assembly out, and it makes it so much easier to access everything inside this grill assembly. And then if you want to go ahead and remove your grill out of here, here's all your screws right here. So yeah, go ahead and get your grill installation kit and go over all your hardware and everything, and you'll have a pretty good idea which ones you need to remove to get out. But once you get the grill out, then your whole frame here is exposed. You could pull all these old bucket pieces out and sandblast them and paint them all up nice and get this thing looking brand new, just like it did from the factory. So I hope this helped you guys out. More videos to come, so share it, like it, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel. If you have any other questions on this charger, leave it in the comment section, because we're working on this one right now, and I'll try to answer your questions and show you in a video of how to do something, right? So you guys take care. It's good seeing you. God bless. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon.